right now. Let's just hold on right now.
I mean, like, we could do a sleep stream like this, bro.
We can. I mean, are you sure it's like the thing with Restream? The audio would always be weird. Now, are you sure the audio just gets skip or it starts reaching out of this or?
Yeah, because it's fun. Everything you hear is everything that the stream hears.
No, what I'm saying, the problem I had with the Restream, were like the audio would like skip or like glitch out. Like, are you sure? Cut out. I don't know. Like, are you sure? Cut out. I don't know.
For that, I have played it for another 3 to 4 hours. So
Hey, how was the quality of my stream? Are you watching Spotcast? Okay.
Yeah.
Like how? Like I'm gonna play some more of it, and you'll just tell me how the quality is.
I am somewhere
Okay.
between 5 and 6 hours into the game right now, since picking it up yesterday.
I'm almost 50 hours into the game now.
Okay, so you're about 50. That's what I'm thinking I'm going to get out of this game, 50 to 60 hours. But Zero Dawn, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. And this, to me, feels like more Zero Dawn, but much more refined. And I think set up to pull you along through the open world better.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think one of the most interesting parts of this, which I did not put in my review, and I feel like I didn't see any reviewers talking about this, the main story takes you to a couple of the towns, but once the game is done, there are cities all over the place that have all sorts of hunting trials, melee battle pits that unlock extra stuff, customization tables. Like, this game, and a lot of this isn't even connected to trophies. This is one of those games that if you want, you could play hundreds of hours, but you could also just, do what you want and leave. I feel like it's what I want all open world games to be, which is not a checklist. It's a lot of things to do, but it's not a checklist.
They do have like a board game thing, like how we have those occasional games like in a bigger game, that you can technically spend time playing through. Like Final Fantasy VIII had like kind of its card game sort of and all that. That's what I'm getting here with Horizon. Is that on its own looks like it would be an entire thing to do, 10, 20 hours, something just into that. But as I'm playing through this game, one, visually, it is probably the most impressive game I've seen so far. Like this actually feels like when you look at it, it's like, all right, this is a next gen game. But that's kind of where I have a bit of a problem here, Max, because there's two different modes. There's performance and there's resolution mode. Resolution mode, I am struggling with. Like I'm having a hard time playing under that. But then performance mode, there's something wrong with both versions of it.
Isn't quality mode 4K 30?
Yes, but it feels like you're underwater. Like it's hard to describe because we played through Horizon Zero Dawn at 30 frames per second. And I don't remember getting that feeling like I am now with this. Like it feels slow. It's hard to describe. Like if you just try it, you'd understand what I'm saying, but it feels like you're just in goo the entire time you're playing and trying to walk through. But then you go to performance mode, and I feel like they just turn it like anti-aliasing off, so everything just shimmers when you're looking around. It's very noticeable and distracting.
It feels like water does not know how to work when it bumps up the frame rate for some reason. Like I think.
Introducing Discover Online Privacy Protection.
The water effects, if you play it in the 4K mode, it looks photorealistic. I literally recorded about 10 minutes of footage on the beach because it looks just like a beach. And then you put it in 60 frames a second mode, and it looks a little bit funky.
Yeah,
so John, are you basically saying that, I don't want to say this because people are going to take this wrong way, but are you saying that like it's kind of the PS4 version is holding this version back a little bit? The PS5 version?
I did wonder that as I was moving like the slide around trying to figure out, I'm just going to go performance mode and just deal with the shimmer and stuff that I see. Yeah. But I do wonder if they just were like, this is a PS5 game. We're not going to try to figure out how to make it work on other configurations like a PS4 Pro, the base PS4. I mean, maybe if they had more time to optimize what you're saying, because I feel like through patches over the next several months, they're probably going to figure it out. Like because we've had modes introduced for Spider-Man where they had like a performance and a resolution, but then they had like a performance ray tracing mode. And I think they're going to figure something out with that and it'll get better over the next couple months. So kind of, yeah, I think if there was no PS4 version and they had more time to optimize the PS5 version, I don't know if we'd necessarily be dealing with this immediately after launch.
It feels a little bit weird because what I did is I bought 2 copies of the game and I was playing it both. I have a PlayStation 4 Pro and I played it on my PlayStation 5. And I feel like, yeah, the versions feel very close. It feels like they maybe built the whole PlayStation 4 version first and then figured out like, all right, how can we just improve the graphics later? Like, because I like it. It looks great. But yeah, definitely at times, especially fire effects and stuff, we're like, yeah, this is still the same graphics we've had for 6 years.
It's just, you notice the 60 frames per second. So I'm just sticking with that and hoping that over the next couple of weeks they have a patch or something put out. But to be honest, I might already be done the game and on to like Elden Ring or something by then. But the game itself, I think, does a much better job rewarding you immediately. And the side quests are actually interesting. Like it's rewarding for the side quests because you get things that are very useful to you. But the stories that they have for their side quests are much higher quality than I was expecting, I think. To where they have like legitimate like conflict and storylines that surprise you when you're going through them at times. But the skill tree is like 3 times larger than Horizon Zero Dawn's, and you are
6 skill trees. It's nuts.
You are constantly leveling up, and you're constantly getting skill points. So I
like that they give you for every side quest you finish, they give you multiple skill trees, skill points as well. So I kind of like. It's like if you're leveling up, you're getting points, but I like that you're rewarded. Like if you really want to max out your skills and get your ultimate abilities called Valor, like it's cool that do a couple side quests and you get infinitely stronger.
Yep. So I'm having a blast with this so far. I haven't. The thing with these open world games is typically I'd have to get 15 or 20 hours in to see if I get that open world fatigue kicking in. That's about where it happens, right? 15, 20 hours. I'm going to be curious to see if it kicks in here because they are pulling you along through the main story if you want to. So like if you just want to go, you can. You feel pretty powerful immediately. Like I feel stronger than all the machines I'm fighting right now. You're ripping like their gear off and all of this. And they did introduce like the large snake in the tutorial. So like in the first hour or so, you do see very large creatures. So I'm curious as I go through if I'll see more larger bosses. I assume I am because they showed off like the big mammoth and stuff.
Well,
so
I mean, that sounds like a good thing though, because within the first hour you do need to show off the large snake.
It's true. Yeah, some people call it the 50-50 tactic of game design. It's very good.
I couldn't help myself.
Keeping it classy.
I'm getting a kick out of the game though. It does. It's a good reason for you to plug your PS5 back in, Sean.
Well, mine comes tomorrow, so I'll be getting it.
Coming out of finally taking it, unboxing it, unpacking
I know where it is. I know where it is.
Unpack it. Is that it's finally getting unpacked? You packed it up to move, and now it's finally coming back out of the box.
I haven't. What? I wasn't interested in Deathloop, so.
Deathloop is actually good though. I like Deathloop.
Yeah, it's like $10 or $15. Maybe I'll check it out.
Okay. I think you're gonna like it. It does have feelings of like one of the side quests I did was in a mine, for example, early on. Felt kind of like Tomb Raider there. But then I do one where you're moving crates around and solving puzzles in like a ruin that they have, and it starts feeling kind of like Zelda. So they have elements from all these different types of games kind of thrown in there. So I'm having a blast with it. I need more time, 5 or 6 hours, but I think it's good.
I know it's early, but is it in the conversation for Game of the Year, you think?
Well,
I know it's early. I mean, Elden Ring's coming. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming this year.
This year is so packed. Yeah. That's the thing. But that kind of brings up the idea of the Metacritic score, right? Because when this game, the embargo lifted, there's a lot of conversation around the Metacritic score for this one, which is interesting because it's a good Metacritic score. But people were shocked that it wasn't like 92 or 93 or something. And it got to the point where it was like, is this game actually good? Because it was an 89. And I'm thinking,
ridiculous.
It's an 89. That's a really good score.
It went down 1 point. Now it's an 88. But
That's just
like
Twitter bullshit.
88's still a good score.
yeah, 88, and that would
cool.
still put it in the game of the year
Dude,
discussion.
that's on. It was on so many. It wasn't even on like 40 reviews. It was on a lot of reviews. Let me see if I can pull it up.
It's at 100.
108 reviews, and that's just on the that's just on the PS5. It's also on the PS4 where there's just one person who reviewed it apparently on the PS4.
Sony gave out, I think they gave out review copies for like people said play it on the PS5. They wanted people to review it on the PS5, not the PS4.
But like it's 100 positive, 6 mixed, no negative, 0 negative. So it's like that's a really good review split.
How many perfect scores did it get?
Quite a
That's a
few.
good question. I think it actually had a decent amount. I think it was like 5 or 10% perfect. Which I mean, for a game, that's pretty good.
I liked it. I want to say I don't think this is going to be in the game of the year conversation. It's fun. I gave it a 9 out of 10 in my review. Obviously, I'm still playing it, but I feel like it doesn't quite have that like. I feel like there's an emotional punch of the games that win game of the year. We'll see what happens with God of War Ragnarok.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17 perfect reviews. So
cool. It'll be in the discussion.
Here's the interesting thing about that, though. I feel like this game itself, you're right, Max, might be left off a bit because it does feel so similar to Horizon Zero Dawn. It feels like more Horizon Zero Dawn, which isn't a bad thing because if you like the story and all this behind it, it's great. I'm almost wondering if God of War is going to suffer from that a little bit. It's not going to have the same impact when God of War was first shown off, first came out. It was a different look Kratos. It's going to be more of that God of War.
Yeah, but people like God of War more. God of War has a clout.
But Horizon Forbidden West didn't score higher than Zero Dawn, so I wonder if God of War is going to score lower.
But even if God of War scores lower, it's still going to be pretty high.
Yeah, it's still going to be high.
I would expect
high.
But people are
Yes!
already starting that
Oh my god, bro! It actually works!
Kind of going back and
It'll be
forth.
a little bit. It'll be a little bit lower, but it will still because you can't redo everything. You can't completely remake the magic. I think Breath of the Wild is going to have maybe some situations of that, some instances of that. I think when you make another game and like use the same stuff, it's going to get some of that,
Yeah, like I wouldn't be shocked if Breath of the Wild 2 ends up scoring below Breath of the Wild just because it could lose that. I mean, that was such a drastic change for
you have different reviewers. It has been 5 years, so you have different people playing the games and stuff. So the standards maybe has changed a bit. I mean, there's.
I also I want to throw this out. It feels like shorter games are getting higher review scores. It seems like the stuff that wins Game of the Year the last couple of years has been 15 hours experiences.
You think the open world stuff is just starting to wear on people where you're like, you got to review this and it's going to take you 50 hours, and you're just like at the end you're like, I don't even feel like writing the review for this thing now.
Well, and additionally, even think about how weird it is the fact that this is an open world game where you don't have to do everything for the platinum. It feels like even the game developers are getting to a point where like, just do a couple of the side quests so you're good. You're fine.
I wonder how's the platinum look for Horizon? Because the one
very
Dying
easy.
Light, I was looking at the achievements for Dying Light. There's something you just miss in Dying Light 2, and I was like, that's
you can't.
This
the only missable trophy is you scan people. You have to scan every robot in the game, and some of the quests there's only like a one time you see one super boss. The platinum is a joke. I'm gonna get it because it's just so easy. It's literally do a couple of those like rebel forts. Do a couple of those. Like it's really easy. But I mean, it seems fun.
We also have to remember that Game of the Year doesn't really matter anyways.
But it's fun to talk about.
Oh yeah, it's definitely fun to talk about. Yeah.
Yes, it matters for the developer because obviously if you get Game of the Year, you get more sales and get more clout, you get natural marketing, kind of like how some games like Metroid Dread got
Holy shit, actually. Okay, show me what to do now.
Let's be real. If we're gonna see another Horizon release, like they're gonna do some complete edition or something.
Yeah, how do I fix my audio?
Yeah, something like that. So like they take advantage of that too.
Some games make Game of the Year. This is like, hold on, who voted for Game of the Year for that? Right. Nobody voted for Borderlands for Game of the Year.
Jordan did.
Oh, okay.
So let me ask you this: we just had the whole thing around Horizon.
Oh yeah, the microphone thing.
That just happened. It was very, very loud online on Monday.
Okay, now I'm at the
Is
microphone.
Elden Ring embargo?
It's on the turtle mic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Elden Ring's bigger than
You what?
multi-platform, and it's just that franchise.
You must be 3.0, right?
For the franchise, it's new. You know, they're doing the.
Here's the big question.
Okay, now. Okay, now it's doing it.
88 now. Higher or lower than 88?
Higher. I'm actually gonna buy. I don't buy Souls games. I'm buying Elden Ring. I might suck at it. I'm gonna buy Elden Ring. So
It's even worse.
Elden Ring is going to. I think it's lower.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be like 85.
It's an 85. It's
you
an
must have
85.
inside information on the game.
I think it's gonna be a little lower.
John knows people playing the game. You have to know people playing the game. That's the only way to say it's not lower.
No, I think for me, like, I don't know jack about like who's playing the game, but I think
Hello?
because it's a Souls game. Like, there's gonna be people that are gonna be like, this game's too fucking hard. I can't get my head around it, and they're gonna like score it a little lower.
They made it easy.
It's way easier.
It's easier.
I still think I'm seeing. I think it'll be like an 85.
Then-
I completely.
Then you'll get the
think
people who expect it to be hard to be like, it's not hard enough. I don't.
Yeah.
Well, I have concerns
Jeez.
around the open
hold up,
world
hold up.
aspect.
Bloodborne is 92, and that
that one's
game's
considered the
pretty good.
easy. That one's considered
What's-
the easiest. I thought of their releases.
What's Sekiro?
But that also was an
Sekiro's
exclusive.
too, right?
89, 90.
That was an exclusive. That was also towards the beginning.
Okay,
of
Sekiro's a 90. Sekiro's a 90.
Sekiro.
Sekiro.
I don't know what it is.
Nah, I
gonna be interesting.
just have a gut feeling.
We're gonna find out pretty soon. I think. Right? When's the embargo on that lift? I feel like it's
Wednesday
pretty soon.
morning.
Wednesday morning. there you go.
morning. Yeah.
Dark Souls 3 is an 89.
This is gonna be interesting.
I
So
think
Dark-
it's gonna be.
You gotta
and I'm
remember,
biased.
I mean,
I love it, dude.
Video
I
game
love it.
scores, you know, what reviewers look for in games changes all the time. You know, like if you could go back to, you know, why was Ocarina of Time the highest rated Metacritic game of all time, when there's people that like, you know, other Zelda games more so. You know what I'm saying? I think it's really just like what the general audience is looking
You
for.
said Ocarina of Time.
at the time.
Oh,
Yeah,
people are
on
just
the-
blinded by 3D. That's all.
On the N64.
People are
Yeah.
just blinded by 3D.
Yep.
The worst console, yeah.
People are
That's
either
great
blinded
game.
by 3D or the 10 frames per
I
second.
don't
Pick
know.
one.
I think that
10 frames a second.
Ocarina of Time. I mean, it was the combat. It was like the Z targeting. You'd never
Yeah,
played
Z
anything like
targeting
it.
was
Yeah,
impressive, yeah.
it was
That
so
game's
impressive.
The best, by far, the best Zelda N64 game.
No, Majora's Mask is better.
Majora's Mask is better.
No, it's not.
No.
I think the story is way better in Ocarina, but man, I love the art in Majora's
Did that shit
Mask.
come in a gold fucking box?
It did if you were
That's
pimping
what
them.
makes it better. A gold box.
Yeah.
Yes, I have it right up there.
This man rating packaging in
Yeah,
2022.
I mean, you know what? That would be a disappointment to get back on Elden. That would be a big disappointment for an 85 when the last three ones have been 80.
Is
We're
that
talking
though?
92, 89.
And I'm not even
90.
joking. I think it's going to be like a 95. I'm not even
Gee,
joking.
whoa.
Cap it.
Whoa,
Yeah.
95?
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Okay, I'm not going that high. I'm going like
I
That's-
played Elden Ring, baby. That game is good.
I'm
That's
going
Metroid.
90. I'm going 90.
95 is Metroid Prime numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
For what? For what?
And it's the Prime
Metacritic.
Souls, baby.
for
And that-
for Elden Ring, I'm gonna go 80. I'm gonna go 87 for Metacritic.
Okay.
It's gonna go right 1 point below Horizon.
Oh, Metroid Prime, that's a 97. So
Metro, yeah.
Well, I mean, it
yeah.
took the Metroid franchise, put it in a completely different direction. It was arguably the best looking game available on consoles at that time. It had a lot going for it. You know, it had a lot of innovation at that time. Whereas Elden Ring, does it have that same level of innovation?
I mean, within the from what I understand, from what I've seen, it looks like it's definitely doing some new things. You're no longer trapped in quarters. Like a lot of times, like when you play like these games, like it's a lot of hallways and quarters. Then there's always something right behind you. Like you fall down somewhere. This one's open ended. You got a
Well,
freaking
you
jet
actually-
horse.
You
know?
are still trapped and stuff mostly. The open world thing, you go into dungeons. It's got like a hub, but then you basically
Yes.
go into Dark
Yeah.
Souls dungeons in
But
whatever
they have
order you want.
areas where, like, from what I've seen, there's extended areas where you're just out. You know what I'm saying? And you're riding on your horse, like you're doing like that's new for the franchise. I know that's
Oh,
not
yeah.
new for an open world game, but it's new for the franchise. You know,
If
So
you want
that's
to
cool, man.
ride, don't ride the right horse.
Is that a cocaine joke? I don't even know anymore.
It's a song from the 80s, but
okay.
yes, that's the whole thing.
Totally
Drugs.
cocaine.
Okay.
I have no idea, but I've never done hardcore drugs in my life. I have no
It's a good
idea.
song. Listen to it. It's called White Horse by Laid Back. You've probably remember that song by Monifa? If you really wanna touch it, if you really wanna
Yeah.
That song, the sample in that song is White Horse by Laid Back.
Oh,
Sean,
okay.
is Ocarina of Time the best Zelda game to you?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Weird.
The best Zelda game?
Breath of the Wild, baby.
He said.
No, it's
Because-
got to be Link to the Past.
Well,
Or
see, the
Breath of
problem with
Wild.
Link to the Past for me is I didn't play it growing up. I didn't play it until I was an adult, so
You
it
can
didn't
still-
quite.
You can still play it now.
I know.
and it's
I
pretty
played it.
damn
I played it and
good.
beat
Yeah.
it a couple times now, but
Yeah.
I still would rather prefer, especially if you could give me like a nice, clean looking version of the game.
No, you got to play the
Ocarina.
original. You got to play the original.
I can still do it.
All right, hot take. I think the two best, and no one gives the credit. Link's Awakening. Nobody talks about Link's Awakening. That game is
Link's
baller.
Awakening is freaking awesome, dude.
It's
I love
awesome.
that game.
Damn puzzles, man! Like that game has just some really.
Yeah, the tower,
reason-
the
my
Eagle
issue,
Tower. Yeah.
my issue with Ocarina of Time is that everyone was so excited about it going 3D, and they just didn't realize that it was just the 3D version of Link to the Past.
But wait, it's more than that.
No,
Yeah, I mean, you get a horse, you get a
You get a
arena,
horse?
you get all sorts
You
of
have
stuff.
the combat is completely different.
Racing.
Long One Ranch.
The
That's it. I'm
combat's
getting the gold
completely
version.
different.
We're
pulling
bringing
them
up we're bringing up horses on a ranch right now to differentiate them. I don't know.
There's no Z targeting. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that they did this certain stuff. Nah, Ocarina felt way. I guess obviously it looks different.
I'm sorry. Did A Link to the Past come in a gold box?
This man.
No, but Link to the Past had three dungeons in the Light World, then went to the Dark World where you had 7 dungeons, and then to win, you had to fire the magic back at the
Wow,
wizard
spoilers.
with your Master Sword, which is exactly what you did in Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time.
Could
It's
you
just
have
Link to
up
the
to
Past.
3 games can be saved simultaneously to memory?
Yeah.
No.
I think Link to the Past has that.
Time travel allows you to play as Link in different stages of his life. Can I do that in the Light and the Dark World? I don't think so, sir.
It has Dark World. Link to the Past has Dark World.
By the
Yeah, but
way,
it doesn't have
Adult Link, but you're not Adult Link.
by the
Yeah.
way,
Yeah,
it
you're-
did come in a
you're-
gold box in
Get that pal crap out of here.
in Europe and Australia.
Fucking 50 megahertz a second.
50
Are we
megahertz.
talking about like Elden Ring and Horizon? Are we talking about Horizon? How to get to Zelda?
I don't know.
We
did it.
I just had to shut down the Ocarina talk as well.
Oh my god, this man hating on Ocarina of Time. Man.
No, I really
Man.
like Link to the Past 3D. It's one of the better games. Yes.
It's
Oh
not
my
the
God.
same.
Another shot.
Hook shot, yes. Joker, is there a hook shot?
Yes.
That you use in the 3, but you use it completely differently.
Yeah, you use it better in Link to the Past.
Wow. Was that like your one? Did you have like a fallout with your friends?
Is there a house in
all you had.
Skulltula?
Yeah.
No.
Is there open world elements?
Yes.
Not the same though. That's like saying, "Oh, Grand Theft Auto 2 is better than Grand Theft Auto 3." Nobody says that.
I do. Give me Dreamcast.
The
British. And I'm vibing tonight. I really genuinely do appreciate y'all just hanging out. Yeah, it's super late for Daz. You know, time zones exist. He's in the UK. So it's well over midnight there for him. And also no longer a weekend for him. Dang, Mary. I reckon we might get to 700 likes tonight. How about that, y'all? How about that? Why? What? Come on now, Lingy. I thought you were funny 24/7. Yeah, it's been kind of weird, wild, and wacky, I guess. I'm telling you, people just like to watch me suffer because they know that this is my least favorite form of shiny hunting. Wild hunting. Nah, I'm just kidding. Yo, McKirby man, what's going on? Jaden, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, no, I'll be doing raids with the viewers when Gen 9 drops, but we still got to wait to see how it's going to be structured. So, you know, I might do a couple myself first, but then we'll see. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out the routine and the methods and how they work. And then, yeah, absolutely. I would love to do that.